permaculture turned her life upside down. Jessie is passionate about life and how we can keep it going on this planet for as long as possible. She spends most of her time and all of her career devoted to this. Please welcome Jessica Roeder.
So my story is about how permaculture turned my life upside down and why you should let it do the same. I actually cried the first day of class because I knew I had found it. I knew this was the solution and it was so simple. And to let you know how significant that is, I'm not a crier. The last time my parents saw me cry was when we put my dog down 12 years ago. I followed a lot of different paths in life, trying to make the world more sustainable. And I started in biology, did education, did a master's of urban planning. I've worked at the community level and the corporate level, trying to affect change. And I did affect change, but not as much as I wanted to. And then I had this I found permaculture, and it was just so intuitive. And the first time I heard about it, it just made so much sense. Essentially, it means that you're designing the way that nature designs. We've caused some serious trauma to this planet in the last few hundred years. And that's a result of a combination of things, but ultimately I see it as a failure of design. Nature has been designing the most elegant and simple solutions to its problems for 3.5 billion years, and it doesn't have any side effects ever. There's no externalities, as economists call them. So, maybe we could learn something. Permaculture started as a truly permanent form of agriculture, but has now grown to tackle building design, community design, and even financial systems. Think about our vast Canadian forests. Do they get watered? Do they get weeded or fertilized? Of course they do, but it's the collective that does that work. It's not a human with a gas-powered machine. The forest isn't just a bunch of trees, it's a system. Using permaculture, I design food forests and garden systems that mimic this behavior. I don't just plant an apple tree, I plant a whole system around it that supports it. The foundation of permaculture is based on the ideas of earth care, people care, and fair share. Earth care means understanding that this is our only home, and if we don't start taking care of it, it's not going to take care of us. We're a part of nature, not separate from it. People care means that we need to start taking care of each other and find ways of living that don't harm ourselves or others. And we can make it through crisis a lot better as a community than as individuals. As much as some of you may have fantasized about living in a cabin in the woods in the middle of nowhere, really life's a lot more fun with other people around. Fair share means placing limits on consumption of those resources that are finite, because there are, and using them wisely, but then realizing that there's actually an abundance of what we do need. And having that mentality of abundance leads to freely sharing with others, and that includes other species. So what would the City of London look like if it was designed the way nature designs? Close your eyes for a moment and imagine buildings aligned with the sun so that they don't need to be heated in the winter and cooled in the summer. Imagine lush boulevards that treat all of our storm water so that it doesn't run into the river. Imagine picking your lunch on the way to work as you walk through edible landscapes. And imagine every person in this city feeling like they have a role to contribute and how that would change our interactions with each other. So how did permaculture change my life? Before my permaculture design certificate was complete, I'd already made up my mind. This is what I wanted to spend my life energy on. No more talking and meeting and wringing hands about the state of things and making award-winning plans for communities that aren't going to be implemented for 50 years and that are probably so watered down by then that I'll be surprised my name is still associated with them. I wanted to see action and immediate results. I don't think we have 50 years to play with. I want to make individuals and families and communities more resilient, make them more able to adapt to change and self-sufficient, and make them healthier. So within 2 months, I'd given my notice. I quit my job and I started my own business. And I moved to a different province, but that's a different story. Why should you let permaculture change your life? It'll help you realize that the solution is not about sacrifice and scarcity. It's about thriving in an abundant world that is aching to be coaxed into the sunshine. There's fear-mongering from those on top that there won't be enough to go around if we change things too dramatically. That's because they're the ones that have the most to lose. Once we start taking care of ourselves and each other, they lose their power. You should let permaculture change your life because it's the most empowering solution there is to the problems around us. It's a way of moving from sustainable design to regenerative design. And frankly, sustainability has come to mean patting ourselves on the back for doing a little bit less bad when we have a huge mess to clean up. That's regenerative design. William McDonough says that if you're speeding down the highway, going the wrong direction, slowing down isn't going to get you where you need to go. You need to turn around and go the other way. Permaculture is turning around and going the other way. So I hope you can leave here tonight and start applying it in your garden, your home, your life, and your community. And call me if you have any questions along the way.